It's not either the journey or the destination. It's who you become on the journey. And here's the terrible thing about life. It's self-assignment. Like, there's school and college, and then you get dropped into the real world at some point, and you go, well, you have to decide what you're going to do. And you can take an easy path, and it's ultimately less fun. It's short money. Or you take a hard path and you give yourself a challenge, and it's great. And I think, a lot of the times it's that thing of like, it's hard to do. Life is really, really tough. Those are tough things to hear. And it's easy for us because we're sort of on that road. But then, the thing I love about this podcast is you're sort of there's so much kind of wisdom in it, so many stories that you're giving people this kind of roadmap for, okay, well, make your life a little bit harder in the short term and get somewhere. I mean, it's really, I didn't really get what religion was until comparatively late in life. Like the idea that God is a proxy for the future. Right? So God represents the future. So work hard now for a better life in heaven. Right? So it's the same as all self-help. Like, so sacrifice the present for the future. Work is kind of the same. It's a sacrifice of the present for something better in the future. That's like, it's an interesting thing to sort of think around, isn't it? That like, what are you going to do now? So I've got this Chris Williamson, Chris from Modern Movement. He's a really good friend of mine. He's a lovely guy. And we came up with this idea. So me, him and George Mack were chatting about what should you do today that you tomorrow would be happy you did? So sort of 24 hours in the future, how best to live. Because people sort of set like, oh, well, I'm going to do something for 5 years, so it's this huge goal. But you won't rise to your goals. You'll fall to your systems, right? So that thing of like, what could you do tomorrow? What could you do today, rather, that you'd be happy you did tomorrow? Whether it's the food you eat, the exercise you take, the work you do. What do you do? Oh, right, I went to the gym yesterday. I feel great. Like a little bit of DOMS, or, I wrote 10 jokes. And tonight I'm on stage trying those jokes. Oh, well, thanks me yesterday. I did something that was good. So you can time's going to pass whatever you do. And you can give yourself gifts in the future. You can be rich, and you can have a six-pack, and you can be successful, and you can be in a happy long-term relationship with a beautiful family. You can give yourself those gifts, but there's some tough times in the present to give yourself that gift in the future.
Something I really wanted to ask you about is you've climbed to the very peak of your profession. Like you really
generational talent, this guy.